You
Correct.
really need mechanical cooling for that.
Yeah, and I was standing in the lab. They actually had it made up like they do in labs for the testing, and
Yeah.
it was like a real server room. And I was literally my mouth dropped because how many of us haven't run a service room call and they're in panic when those go down? But I was standing within 6 inches of it, and I just can't say anything. And they're explaining it to me. The engineers are, and I'm just blown away because there's no heat coming off this thing at all, none whatsoever. It's just this liquid moving around it with little bubbles, almost like an aquarium, and it's just removing that heat from those boards and you wouldn't even know you're in that room, those rooms. Good, exciting stuff. So that's really one of the hot things that's going on right now. Not the world I live in. It's a different section of Chemours, but still pretty exciting stuff for our industry.
What other stuff you guys got going for training? What do you want for what you're doing? You said you've been traveling all over the place.
Yeah, right now, the common one, honestly, has been just some 2-hour training with a certificate. Obviously, nothing federal or state is recognized at this time. So we'll wait and see what the EPA decides on that. But did last week I was at Penn State University training their maintenance staff. That was a 4-hour course. And not sometimes, when I do a 4-hour course, I start out with some basic fundamentals, things that we've already talked to that you assume, though. But with a maintenance staff, like I had people in there from a handful of them, less than 2 years to all the way to 42 years, like they're on their last year of retirement or whatever. So I never assume anything. I start out with some basic fundamentals, nothing too low, but that's the stuff that I'm doing. And then all of our salespeople, all the reps that rep our product are doing training too. What they have me doing is focusing on the bigger, I hate to say audiences, sounds like I'm important, but the bigger crowds, if you will. So I was with Lennox Live about a month ago, following them around to all three of theirs events. So anybody like an OEM, if they call the Reams of the world and those people, then I'll go to speak at their main events or whatever and those kind of things. But most of my world is still like in a warehouse working with contractors, folks like ourselves. 80% of my job is that for the most part. But like they already shot me my numbers for next week. I'm going to Louisiana. It's a 3-city visit, and they've had to move a couple of those locations twice now because the numbers have gotten up so high. I'm seeing nothing smaller than 50 people. I've seen as many as 247. I'm just talking about a regular training thing. I've never had to use a mic before I think maybe twice at Emerson. And I've used a lapel microphone quite a few times since I've been here, just because there's quite a bit of attraction to the A2Ls right now, obviously for obvious reasons.
Doing the big show, man. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. My
All
dad
right.
would be rolling over his grave. He made something of himself.
Don, I appreciate you coming on. And I don't know. I guess that's it. We'll talk to you guys next time.
See you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Don.